You are now listening to the National Show with Gainstaville and Magee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. Hey, just ride to the beat, man. Feeling good this Friday. Y'all already know who it is. Y'all already know the name of the show. We here to wrap up last weekend and make a smooth transition into Monday morning's game. This your boy Gainstaville, Magee, the National Show. Talk to him, Magee.
We back, baby. We back. Before we go any further, I just have to say, the fact that you have your Gainstaville boxing robe in your background on the YouTube. Speaking of YouTube. Oh, I didn't even realize that I was transitioning. Speaking of YouTube,
right?
We now do the National Show live on YouTube the Fridays before game day. Right?
Yep.
We're doing it at 2 p.m. East Coast. If you're watching now, you see it. We look good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 p.m. East Coast, 11 a.m. West Coast.
Yep.
And we did not think 2 weeks into going live we'd be in the situation we are in, but
at all. But here we stand.
Listen, we also the expectations are real low around here for us. I mean, we were proud that we both made it to the stream on time, right? We were proud as shit that we figured out how to get social media going and stuff like that. Our expectations are low, but the expectations were very high for the Florida State Seminoles.
Indeed.
And maybe it was unfair to put on them. Right? It's possible, right? They lost a lot of seniors last year. JT was behind the center for years. You know, maybe our expectations were too high.
Right.
But maybe it was just one game.
That's what I'm leaning towards.
It was one game. It was an international setting. Shit was weird. It was our first game with a lot of new starters. Shit was weird. You know, it's just like, and Georgia Tech really did everything right. I don't know if Georgia Tech will do everything right all season, but in that first game, they did everything right.
Right.
So, yes, we lost, but also they won. And they didn't make the mistakes we made, you know?
Right.
But I expect better out of our guys. I really
Ultimately, yeah. But it's like you said, man, it's those high expectations that come with being at Florida State, which I love. You know, we're not winning 4 games and missing bowl games anymore. We're being upset that we lost to Georgia Tech opening night in Dublin. And the fact of the reality, you already touched on it, man. The majority of our production from last year was gone. And a lot of those, you know, plug and play players that we had that rotated or whatever, it wasn't at the key positions, man, like quarterback, so to say, or whatever. So that's the chemistry that we got to get going, I'm feeling. Also, ground and pound a little bit more because we got a stable running backs back.
That part seemed to work, right? Like when the game started, I was like, oh, hey, look. This is how I drew it up. This is what I said on the pod. I said this. Look at all these running backs. Look, it's a close game at half. Watch us pull away with our running backs in the second half. And then in the second half, I wasn't as correct as I was in the first half.
Right.
But, you're right. I love that we have higher expectations now than we did. You know, shout out to the guy, right? We love him.
Right.
But the Taggart era was a sad time around here, right?
Oh, yeah.
The last year of Jimbo wasn't that pleasant, right? Even the first year of Coach Norvell, we knew, hey, we're going to get there, but this isn't awesome. I am happy to be back, right? I am happy to be back. caring and like hurting when it doesn't work and like spending all week shaking and excited about the game. Like, I am happy that it fucking matters again, bro. I really am. So I say all that to say, like, yes, I'm sad about last week, but it is awesome that last week hurt so much.
Right. But we're still in it, man. The season is so young. This is a new playoff. It's
That's
so
the key.
many. Yeah. All
That's
we
the
really
key.
have to do is win the ACC. That's all we have to do.
And
win
in
the
any
ACC.
other season, we would have been like just ejected after one loss.
Oh yeah.
Like we'd be on the phone just talking Bucks. Like we wouldn't have even thought about the Knowles, right? Like we would have been dejected. But now, especially a team in the ACC can take an L, right? Can take an L. Just got to make the conference game. Just got to win the conference game, and then we got to win a couple games in a row, right? We can do that.
Exactly.
We can do that. I suspect that Coach Norvell got on that plane. Now I don't know Coach Norvell. We've never met, right? If we did, I would be very polite and I would be very pleasant. You know, I'm very appreciative of the gentleman. But
most definitely.
That dude got on the plane and said, "What do you guys want to do? You guys want to cry, or you guys just want to go out there and win every other fucking game we play this year?" Right? Because we still have everything that was available to us last week. Run the table, national championships is still available this week. Just run the rest of the table, win the national championship.
Yeah. Straight up, man. And like I said, the biggest thing that I wanted to see was the quarterback position. And I could at least be pleased enough to say that he didn't just go out there and bomb it. You know what I mean? He actually had a decent game. You know what I mean? It just needs to build more chemistry with the receivers. You could tell he's plug and play. You can tell because first game and then the environment that it is now coming into Monday. It's first game home. You know, it's in the stadium. It's with the fans behind you. You get that extra rah-rah in you. So, you know, the younger players should be performing better. Hopefully that chemistry will be working better on offense or whatever. Defense, we just got to tackle, man. We're there. We just gotta hold them when we get there, especially against Boston College with the Castellanos or whatever the quarterback is. This guy was their leading rusher as well. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. I remember I talked about him last year, and even though we squeaked by, he still put his numbers up. So, I mean, with a defense that is missing what we're missing right now, he's like that much more deadly coming into this weekend.
I remember that conversation vividly, that podcast. That was when I was like, damn, this motherfucker really knows what he's talking about. You know?
Right.
That dude was good, man. That dude's a good quarterback, man. He's, you know, not every quality college starter has a NFL future, but I think he has a couple years. You know what I mean? He's gonna gonna catch on. He's gonna stick. He's gonna get a second contract. You know, I'm not saying he's going to the Hall of Fame or anything like that. I'm just he's not Joe Montana. Oh no, Boston College. He's no Doug Flutie. Actually, he might be a Doug Flutie. Who else went there? Oh, you know who went there? Who's homie that just retired? He was with the Falcons all those years. Didn't he go to Boston College?
Yeah. Matty Ice.
Ice. That's right. He's from Philly. He's originally from Philly. He went to Penn Charter High School, and then he ended up at Boston College. So I don't know if this kid will have the career that Matty Ice had, but I think he'll be around in the NFL for a minute.
He definitely has the athletic ability to be around, man.
Sure, and if
maybe to a H-back or slot receiver or something, you never know.
I was just thinking he'd be a great backup. I would love to have him. I would love to have him in the room with Baker, you know. Obviously, when it comes to the NFL, I'm biased. You know, I look at everything through pewter tinted lenses. Garnet tinted lenses on Saturday, pewter tinted lenses on Sunday, baby.
Yes, sir.
So it's good. It's good. Let's get last week out of our system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some deep breaths.
Right. All right. There we go.
Right. That feels good. You know what I mean? Let's get going, man. We cannot control the past. We cannot change the past. Right? All we can do is look forward. And before we talk about Florida State's forward, right? Let's talk about a couple other teams that are playing some football this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
One is a team that you are quite impressed by going into the season, or your expectations are high for.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Hurricanes play football this weekend.
Yes, sir. In the swamp.
They are going to the University of Florida. It's like when the enemy and our enemy are fighting, and we just get to sit back and be like, I hope they knock each other out. This is cool. I like this. What are your thoughts going into this game? Miami is a 2.5 point favorite on the road in the swamp.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the position where it's like this game is going to show me what Florida has this year or whatever. I think this is the third year with their coach. So, every year they're making X amount of changes and stuff or whatever, and supposed to be getting the right player here and there. And then they got DJ Lagway, that freshman quarterback in or whatever that they can use to their dispensal or whatever. But Miami is already established. Like that receiver tore us up last year. That line is established. That defensive and offensive.
If this works for them with this whole their quarterback dance, if that works for them,
oh yeah, because they remember they started the freshman against us last year and was in the game until the freshman got hurt and they had to put in old boys. So that it's a Cadillac. It just needs a good driver behind it. That's all it is. And with that being said, we're gonna see what Florida got, because if they compete with them, then maybe their schedule isn't as tough. But if Miami slap them around, woo, boy, it's gonna be an ugly year for Florida.
I don't have very high expectations of Florida. Not only do they have to deal with a good Miami team to start the season, they're also playing us outside of the conference. And then other than that, they're in the SEC. And they're playing, like, if you look at their schedule, they're playing like everybody, all the hardest teams. So honestly, like, I suspect Florida is a not in a bowl game, a sub-5 win team, I don't think that they're now. I think they're
5 and 7.
Some good athletes. I just don't think their team is as good as the other teams that they have to deal with.
Yep. Same. But we shall see, man. But that will be a good game on the radar, man.
Yeah, I'd like to, at least pop in on the first half of that game, because I want to see how their quarterback situation goes.
Yeah, Ward.
Because Cam Ward, if that works, watch out, man. You were right, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? If that works, that means you were right and I was wrong. And it's their conference to lose.
Yep.
If maybe it's not all there, maybe he has some of the first game with the new team issues that DJ had, that makes me feel better about us, right? Like, it's not just our guy, right? This could happen. But if he goes out there and everything's in sync, oh man, you're gonna have to talk me off a ledge, my guy.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
The other game I'm pretty interested in this weekend. Another ACC and SEC matchup, right? In neutral field too, just like we did. They're playing in Atlanta. That's not exactly neutral, I guess. But Clemson and Georgia are playing in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz. Now, Georgia is a 12-point favorite. So Clemson's getting 12 extra points going into that game. You and I were a little dismissive of Clemson this offseason. I don't want to speak for you, okay? But I stand by every fucking word I said. I have zero fucking respect for that team. I have zero fucking faith that they're going to have a good year. I think Dabo is a bad coach, and I don't think I'm not scared. Now, if they go out and get 11 wins, you know what I'll do? I'll say I'm sorry. All right, I'll say I was a dick. All right, it's not the first time I've apologized for being an asshole. Right, but my expectations are like this. I got nothing. I suspect Georgia pulls up 63-3 type thing. I mean, it won't be 63-3, but you know what I'm talking about. And this is a game for recruits for Georgia. Clemson's right over the border. That's a pretty close. This is a game for recruits they're not going to want to give up that stranglehold. So I suspect Georgia goes out there and does what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I like to get in here and go back and forth with you on it, but I can't this time, man. We are definitely aligned. I think Clemson is about to get crushed, and I think it's a situation where it's like I think it's Dabo refuses to modernize.
Right.
He refuses to, he still has this rule where players have to sit out a year when they transfer. Like, dude, really? And you
stubborn
think
old grumpy fucking cracker ass get off my lawn bullshit, dude. Is what it is. But
he is blockbusting the Netflix era.
Right. He is he's an interesting person just because he's an idiot, right? But he is also like in his mind, like he's doing everything right. Like, you know what I mean? He thinks he's like on fucking point, right? And from as a casual observer, I'm consistently for years like, what is wrong with dude? You know, like I've never got it, but he's engaging, right? There's a reason some people follow him and like him, you know, and I'm certainly interested in hearing what he has to say about this game against Georgia this weekend.
Right. Hopefully this might be a wake-up call. If this isn't a wake-up call, then it's gonna be a dagger in the coffin in my eyes, man. Because if he gets crushed over by him, and this is like their second not successful year that they've had or whatever. So now you're getting boosters, like, all right, now what's out there in the waters, you know what I mean? And fire.coms and all of that,
right?
All of that stuff.
Firedabo.com is coming.
Yeah,
right?
You see that we lost the Georgia Tech, and this FSU fans was out there. Oh, fire the coach! I'm like, dude, come on, man. One game. Oh no. You don't know how hard it is to find a coach for one that could be successful, but two can be successful in these new environments.
Let's put it this way, man. The Georgia Tech guy's number just went up.
Oh yeah.
That win in Dublin. That win in Dublin means his next job is a real contract. Real contract, and it could be in the SEC. We might not be able to afford them now.
Yeah.
And we got bread.
We
got bread.
Yep.
You gonna listen to the Dabo radio show?
Yeah, got to, man, because you know he'd be going off.
They said they're not taking calls this year. They said they're not taking calls anymore.
Oh,
he's not taking calls from fans because he just has zero respect for the people
at all.
He's stubborn. He seems like he puts out I'm a good person kind of a front, right? But I got a feeling he's not as pleasant in private as he is in public. There might be a touch of hypocrisy there. I don't know him or anything like that. I'm just there's a whiff of potential hypocrisy there. He might not be who he is in public and private.
Yeah. Totally agree on it, man. Totally agree. And it's cool not cool, but you get away with it in situations when you're winning and, you know, when you're in the spotlight and when you're always in the hunt and stuff or whatever. But now that the rules of the game have changed and the balance of powers have shifted, instead of trying to, you know, hold ship tight and do whatever you can to ride the rough waters, what everybody else is doing is nope. You know, I've been here for X amount of days and X amount of years, and if they want to fire me, they got my number. Yeah. It's like, really, bro? Like, okay.
They're gonna at some point. Like that act gets stale. You know what I'm saying? It just gets stale. At some point, you got to have a change in voice, some sort of youthful, youthful energy influx. I guess is the right way to say that. You're just gonna have to. It's getting to Clemson's getting really left behind by the new age way of doing things, you know, and there's that gap's getting wider and wider. It's going to be harder and harder.
An example.
They're going to overpay for the next head coach.
Do you remember Bobby Bowden in the era when Peter Ward was there? And you remember when he put the earring on for like a practice or whatever, and everybody was like, "Oh, Bobby Bowden got the earring on!" Oh.
Bobby got it.
That was him connecting with the youth where I can be 30, 40 years older than you, but let me put this earring on and entertain y'all for a little bit so I can be that guy,
Right.
you know, and then we get back to football, and then you build that much more trust.
And
That's
Dabo
what he's
hasn't
missing.
right, and he
Mhm.
hasn't been that guy since he was dancing in the locker room a couple years ago.
Yep.
Now he's old and
Yep.
boring, and he's
Yep.
there. The disconnect is there. He has gotten so far from being a player that he's not pleasant to be around anymore. You know, he's becoming that curmudgeon old guy. You know, I you know, to this day I say, if I could pick a grandfather, I had one that was amazing, right? But if I could pick a grandfather, I'd pick Bobby Bowden.
Oh,
I don't
most
think
definitely.
I don't think there's anybody in the world that's like, I want Uncle Dabo to be to babysit me this weekend. I want to stay at Uncle Dabo's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody like his own. I don't know. He's just not that. He doesn't seem very pleasant to be around.
Right.
So, had to do it. We had to talk about those two games. Any other ACC games that you're excited about this week, or college football games? Pardon me, that you're.
I mean, we can squeeze a little Colorado in there about last.
Well, they won. They won last night.
Yeah.
You know, they won at the end. You ask Coach Rule up in Nebraska. He'll tell you. He told the AD when they hired him, you got to get, no Dakotas. No Dakotas on either of them, right? No Dakotas on the schedule.
Right.
CU took on a game early in the season that like a lot of schools are scared to take on.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
North Dakota State they are that team that's just like coming for you. You know, they want to win. They want in the conversation, and they're consistently good. They have the little man disease. They got the Napoleon complex, right?
Yep.
Consistently. So we are unashamed Deion Sanders fans, and therefore it's just a transitory property that we're kind of pulling for the Buffaloes. If he was coaching any other team, we'd be pulling for that team.
So,
but that's a big win. You know, I wish Travis Hunter was wearing garnet, but I'm happy to see him play well.
Right.
He's gonna be a top 5.
It worked out in the end because who knows if he would have played both sides if he would have came to Florida State or whatever.
Which side do you think he's gonna play at the next level? Because
I don't know, man.
I think there's a logical answer and then there's a correct answer, and they're not the same.
Logical would be wide receiver. That's where he's most explosive at. That's where he's, the dynamic X factor player or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say because he's not bad on defense. Like, he's good. He'll shut down the whole side of the field or whatever. But I think whichever team that selects him will probably choose one side for him to start on, but still will do a package or play or something with him. If he plays offense and it's 3rd down or 4th down, all right, let's put Hunter out there.
Right. I think that's the move. I think you use him as a wide receiver because that position is capable of really making an impact in today's NFL. And he has the talent to be one of the best wide receivers, but you're probably putting him in there on the nickel or dime package. Like, you're also going to cycle him in there on important plays. You're right, 3rd down, he's probably out there on defense too.
Right. I wouldn't do it too much though, because it's the NFL, man. Like, you can catch up with them kids in college or whatever, but when you get in the NFL with the best of the best, it's gonna wear you doing that many reps.
True.
On both offensive and defense.
Doing it the other way around is less safe for the guy, right? Because if all of a sudden he's a defender popping out on offense, the other defense is going to be they're going to want to tee off. Right. But if he's just the starting wide receiver, they're going to just treat him like every other wide receiver. So if I'm the head coach, I'm doing it that route too.
Yep. Most definitely.
The fact that we're even having this conversation is amazing. We don't have this conversation very often. What is it? Twice a decade that we talk about a kid who can play either side.
Yeah. You got to go back to like Miles Jack, back in the days to see someone.
Yeah, he was a great running back, right? UCLA, is that where you were?
Yeah.
Great running back in college, and then good linebacker. I mean, not linebacker, D lineman. Yeah. Well, I'm excited about football this weekend.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple good games. There's a couple games that don't really matter. Nebraska's playing UTEP. Like, nobody cares about that, right? Yeah. Except the guys that host the Nebraska Hour, which came out this morning on the Dash Podcasting Network, BYAPN, BYAPN. I like that we're at that point in the year where like Fridays are for college football on the podcast network.
Mm-hmm.
The Nebraska Hour comes out, the National Show comes out. It just makes Fridays great.
Love it, man.
Yeah. All right, before we get into the matchup, how do you feel about the Monday night game?
I mean, like I say, we just talked about, us and the expectations. With those expectations come notoriety, being in the spotlight, being that first team to kick off college football, being that only team to play for Monday evening or whatever. So I love it. It brings more attention to us. It brings more recruiting to us. We're on prime time year after year. And it's a game that's like important, but it's not like a heart attack thriller game. Like it's not Miami, it's not Clemson, it's Boston College, and I'm not taking no respect off of their name because Boston College is gonna bring it to you every time we play them. But it's still a game that's like, okay, first home game, we could do this. Let's do this.
For a second, I got a little scared. And then I remembered, oh yeah, cool. Thank goodness. It's a home game. It's in Tallahassee.
Yeah,
it's not like the bandana game.
Yeah.
Whatever they do, I forget.
Oh, that was.
I forget who the guy that they're celebrating is. Hey, rest in peace to homie. You went out in like amazing fashion. I remember the story, everything. But man, I don't want to play Boston College on that game anymore, on that weekend anymore. So for a second, for just a split second, I forgot it was in Tallahassee. I was a little worried. No, I think we're good. Man. I think we're good. It's going to be real tough for them after playing all summer in Boston or in New England and then coming down to the swamp that is Tallahassee. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be
humidity,
thick air. So yeah, that part that benefits us. The Monday night, the fact that we get the extra 2 days of rest after playing in Ireland, like after the long travel, that flight back must have sucked balls. And so, that benefits us too. Home opener is great. I agree with you. We deserve that national spotlight, and the fact that we're doing this Monday night game the week before the NFL's Monday Night Football kicks off. Everybody's excited about football right now. There's gonna be a lot of eyes on us. A lot of people wanting to see if we're gonna drop the ball twice to start the season. Right? There's a lot of people rooting against Florida State right now.
Oh yeah,
nothing new.
Of course,
nothing new. They've been hating on us for a long time.
Long time.
This is a big game though. It's weird.
Put up a shut
technically, this is still week 1. It's weird that we have 2 games in week 1, right? They it wasn't a week 0. It was just but it's weird to have a must-win game this early. Yeah. But we got to win now. I mean, we got to win them all now. So they're all must-win. Playoffs start Monday.
Yep. Week after week after that.
And then we have a bye week after, like next week. Honestly, I need it. Last week was stressful.
After these first 2 games, we need a bye week, bro. That way, come back, reassess everything, see what we need to switch up with DJU, get the whatever angle of offense we need to focus on going into the season, and whatever we need to get right on defense. I love it right there. I love it.
Agreed. So let's talk about BC. What are their expectations for the season? And then what are our expectations of them going into this game?
I mean, it's that darn quarterback, man. He's like one of those guys that's like, he's not going to kill you all game long, but he's going to kill you in the moments that he needs to kill you in. The 3rd and 17s, the 4th and 8s, he'll get 2 stops and then he'll come and get a 25-yard pass or quarterback scramble for 17 yards for the first down. He's a dagger type player. You know what I mean? And that defense, they're consistent. Like
they weren't great last year. I mean, they were.
They're not great, but
they were ranked near the bottom in the conference. Yeah. But what they going into this year, they brought back more than half of their starters. They brought back like 7 or 8 defensive starters, and that's huge in college. I mean, huge. it's something we're beginning to see more of with the NIL money available. Like we're seeing some of the guys stick around for an extra year because they can actually out earn their rookie salary in the NFL. But we're not seeing as many people leave like we used to. But still, consistency on defense is what you want. And like that's literally how we started this damn podcast. Like we started like talking about, man, we should have thought about a little more about how many guys left that defense off of last season. So the fact that they brought back a lot of their defenses, you know, we should give it the credit it deserves, and we should expect them to be better on defense. Now, I don't think they're gonna have the defense to stop Florida State, like a Florida State team, hopefully with a renewed focus.
Right. There you go. With a renewed focus at home to start the home schedule off. So yeah. All of that together, it ends in our side, in our favor. Yeah.
I'll be 100% with you. If we win this game, I'm not clapping. I'm not proud. Right? Like we're supposed to win this game. Right? You're not going to get credit for winning a game you're supposed to win. If we lose this game, though, I'm going to be really, really bummed out. Right? If we start the season 0-2, that's not how it's supposed to go. Right? We're way better than Boston College. Honestly, we're way better than Georgia Tech. But
I'm not going to speak on that, man. I'm going to say you never know. We can come out and win 63-6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think there's a much better chance of us blowing out and taking it out on them than us losing this game. Right? Like I think we're going to win this game. But you know, I thought we were going to win last game. You know,
Right. And I agree. Yeah. If we were to take an L, this isn't the game to do that on, especially with us being at home, second game.
No fucking around, dude. No fucking around.
Straight up.
No.
Buts about it.
You have a potential, like, you have a fan base that's showing up at Doak. It's going to be hot. They're national television. They know all eyes are on them, and they expect really, really high level effort Monday night. And if there's a potential of like a mob scene if they don't see it, right? like Florida State fans, whether it's legitimate or unwarranted, the expectations, just like where we started the conversation, the expectations are high, and they're even higher, you know, for this weekend than they would have been, you know.
And then another downside to a Monday, you was in the faculty there. You know what it's like to lose on a Monday, then have to go back to class on Tuesday morning, like ain't nothing happened.
It was hard enough to lose on a Saturday and come back on a Monday, man. Monday, you know, but the next morning is tough. The whole community lives and dies with it, but you feel it more on the home game weekends. You know? Because everybody's there, everybody's planning their shit around it.
And you got the leftovers all around the city, the flyers, the stands and food trucks and all of that stuff.
Empty beer kegs in the yard, and, you know, the whole 9 yards. I didn't think that the Boston College game is when I would start getting stressed out going into games. Like, I thought I had a few weeks before I started this feeling. I thought I was gonna, last week I was feeling good. I was light. I thought I was gonna get that for a few weeks, but all of a sudden it's game time.
Yeah, it's one thing I would like to see improvement on from our coaching staff, and I'm not just gonna put all of this on head coach, but is development at the quarterback position, consistency with it. You know what I mean? One thing, and I hate to give Jimbo his credit, but one thing I did like about Jimbo, no matter who went down, whoever went in there still gave us a chance. And there was that fluid transition from quarterback to quarterback, whether it's somebody getting hurt or a brand new one starting the next year. There was still, that fluid. Okay, this is a guy I can trust. We had that in Jordan Travis, and I mean, DJU, I told you we had to see him play, but even behind him, I'm like, what do we got? What are we doing? What do we have coming up? You know what I mean? That's the one thing I would like to see going forward.
Yeah. And that's what we talked about all offseason.
Yep.
So, you hate bringing it back up or repeating yourself or saying the same shit over and over, but it's the most important position in sports.
Right.
And
right.
we need production there. We have every other, we're good everywhere else. We're competent. We have all the pieces on all the parts as long as that position goes well.
Right.
And I'm still hopeful. I didn't, at the end of last game, oh shit, there goes the season. That wasn't my attitude.
No. Not
I
at all.
immediately went back to the casino and I bet him again at a higher number. And I got him now at 60-1 to win the national championship.
Wow,
I am still all in on the season. And I think this, if anything, it wakes us up, play a little more. Right. You all season now you get to yell Georgia Tech at them and practice. Right. Who's not hustling? Who's not busting their ass? Who's not gonna, get up and go get the loose ball or dive for the loose ball or chase after the guy who's trying to take off for the touchdown? Everybody's gonna be focused now.
Right.
And so maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
And I'll say the same thing I said about the Florida-Miami game, how we'll see what Florida's made of. We'll see really more of what we're made of this weekend because it's less distractions. It's in the country, not only in the country, it's at home. You know what I mean? You're at home. Yeah. You have a bit of consistency. You're right around the corner from where you practice at. You're in your native environment. It should be more comfortable, more setting, more tone, more paced. That's what I'm looking for in this game or whatever. And that is the case, then we should be good.
Agreed. So Vegas has Florida State 16.5 point favorites.
Okay.
Now that's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It opened at 23. So that's gone down a lot. And that means people were piling on Boston College. Mm-hmm. People are betting Boston College because they figured 23 was too many points.
Mm-hmm. Now, yeah.
I don't think Boston College is as good as Georgia Tech. Okay, so I think everybody should slow down on that. But if you like Florida State,
transfer portal era, so
right,
surprises in the sauce.
That's right. So if you want to bet Florida State, just wait. See if it keeps going down. Wait until kickoff. Maybe people keep betting it, and you get it at 15. That's certainly a whole lot better than 23.
Right.
But if you were smart enough to bet Boston College plus 23, then you just wait and bet Florida State right before kickoff, and you got a big window where you can hit both bets.
Yep. It is.
That's like the super advanced approach to this shit, making sure you're hitting the opening line and then, betting against where you think it's going to move to, etc., and creating a window. But long story short, if you're betting Florida State, wait till kickoff. No rush to get that wager in this weekend.
Word. You got time. Monday.
That's right.
Monday evening. You got time.
What are you gonna do Monday night to watch this game? It's different than you had what, a 9 a.m. kickoff Saturday.
Yeah, it was crazy. Bro.
Yeah, you hit me up like, because
I thought it was gonna be later, like in the afternoon at 4, and it was like 6 in the morning. And I'm like, let me check just to be on the safe side. And I'm like, oh shit,
time to get ready.
Yeah. So then I had to get everything going, run a couple errands, and then had the game set up, and I was good or whatever.
So what are you gonna do Monday night? You gonna stay in? You gonna go out? What do you got?
No, I stay in for the Florida State games, man. I'm probably staying. Yeah, definitely gonna stay in. Just gonna watch it. Maybe order some food. Maybe put some wings on the grill, something like that.
There you go. I'm gonna come over to your place.
Heck yeah.
That sounds nice. I like
Right.
All right, man. Well, listen, Coach Cortez, why don't you get us all ready? Man?
All right, man. Well, hey.
Might need a kick in the ass.
Hey, man. We have got to play the game to win. Every position on the field. When the open catch is there, we got to grab it. When the open receiver is there, we got to throw it. When we are there on the tackle, we got to pursue and bring them down to the ground with the pound. We got to remember to let the nation know exactly who we are, man. Let them know that it was a one-off with Georgia Tech. That was a one-off with Georgia. This is the real Florida State. This is Garnet and Gold. This is the No Nation, and we don't play around, baby. I know Norvell has talked with him. I know former Florida State players have been messaging them and came in and speaking with them. So I know we're going to be ready whenever we hit that field Monday night. I know Boston College ain't playing, but so are we. We not playing. We are not playing the radio, man. It is time for Florida State to wake up as the sleeping giant and take our place on the throne. Let's get it, baby.
Feel so much better now. Dude, my whole approach, man. Like, I went from like a little stressed to like, all right, now I'm just excited. Let's go.
Right on. Right
yeah, I
on.
appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let's wrap this up. The National Show is a co-production between Broham and B Yappin. The video is available on youtube.com/@national NATION and I blew it. NATIONOLE.
There you
Did
go.
it right that time. We are also on Instagram, and it is it's just @national, right? And we are on X. It is @national show. Right? You can check the audio at betyourash.com and on the Bet Your Ash feeds on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Gainstaville is available everywhere. Go to Linktree/Gainstaville. GAINSTAVILLE. And he's everywhere. Check him out. Check his music out. It's on all the platforms. Stream it on all the platforms over and over and over again. Got a new album about to drop. It's just nonstop, man. Super productive. And, on that note, I believe that's everything, right?
Yep, I believe that's it, man.
All right. Well, go Noles.
Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to The National Show with Gainstaville and Magee.